So welcome to the February member meeting of WiVLA. We're a small crowd so far, but I think there'll be more people attending within the next few minutes. As we do at the start of every meeting, someone reads the mission statement, and the person that was going to read that tonight isn't here yet, so I will read it. WiVLA's mission is to provide an inspiring forum for women to explore and advance their creative development, to promote their work in the marketplace, and to infuse the community with their spirit of cooperation and invention. And the board takes this to heart. We strive every month to ensure that we work towards that mission statement. First thing I'd like to do is recognize any guests or new members. And I know right off the bat, we have one new member. So Brooke, would you like to unmute yourself and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your art?
Okay. Yeah, Brooke Summers Perry. I have, let's see. The little bit part is the part that I struggle with because I tend to go on and on. I am a painter and a poet, and I struggle to call myself either one of those labels, but I do a lot of art and expression. I've been painting for probably 10 years and doing creative writing, maybe not that long. I happen to be the art ancillary teacher at Field Elementary, which was the last nudge I needed to join this group. I have some friends and colleagues who have told me about this group. I also am a writer and teacher for writers in the schools. So I've worked in 3 different elementary schools, and I currently have the position at MD Anderson. So I do creative writing one-on-one with pediatric and young adult cancer patients. And I have not had much exposure at all to the public with either my writing or my art. I did have one solo show with my acrylic paintings when I was bedridden for 8 weeks after a surgery and made like 60 paintings and then had them in a show. So that was pretty cool, but that's about the extent of it.
Well, welcome. Is it Patty? Was Patty Pagan one of the people that told you about us?
Yeah, she let me know. She reached out to me to tell me what WiVLA was going to do with the PTO at Field Elementary. And then Anita Long, who kind of showcased WiVLA with Compassionate Houston. She's a close friend of mine. And so she urged me to check out WiVLA.
Good.
And then, yeah. And then there's another person who I'm just having one of those hormonal moments where you can't think of somebody's name, but you really ought to. I can see her face, but she's a member of WiVLA who hung the show that I had at the cathedral, and she's part of your group, and I cannot for the life of me remember her name.
You can put it in the comments later in the meeting.
Yeah, thanks.
Happens to all of us. Welcome.
We call it something besides a hormonal moment, but yeah.
I had this fabulous nun at the Senecal Retreat House say, no estrogen, no nouns. And I really like that. So that's what it feels like.
Welcome to WiVLA. Okay, so we have everybody signed up for visual and literary in the virtual gallery through June, which is very exciting, through the month of June. And but I encourage you, if you want to be a part of the virtual gallery for the summer, go ahead and sign up from our website. You can go to our website and to get to the link. I'm gonna ask, oh, I know she's here. Everyone's moved around. Gladys May.
Yes, I just muted. Yes.
I know. Would you like to speak to Poetry Month for us?
Okay. Yes, it is confirmed. It will be April the 23rd at the LaPorte Library from 1 to 11. And so
It's too
what's
long.
wrong? Huh?
It's probably 11 to 1 and not 1 to 11.
Oh yeah, 11 to 1. Sorry about that. I'm thinking about yes, 11 to 1. So which is a Saturday. So Melanie has you've set up the sign-up sheet already, or she's gonna get a sign-up sheet. I think it's gonna be slots for 10 people, 10 of us. And they are promising a reception. They'll always give us treats, but if we decide we want to go afterwards and have a light lunch or something, then there are restaurants that are within a mile or two from the library that can be worked out as well. If you want, if not, when it's over, we go home. That'd be fine too. So it is confirmed. That's April the 23rd, Saturday, April the 23rd from 11 to 1.
11 to 1. Okay.
Yes.
The Porte Public Library has been a good friend to WiVLA. Last year, because of the pandemic, we weren't able to meet there in person. And so we recorded all of the readings. And Gladys May and Kathleen, Margot recorded her own and sent it to me. But so there were several members who had readings that were recorded, and we knitted them together. And that recording was put on our YouTube channel and then shared to LaPorte Library's Facebook page. So to you poets out there, I'm making the same offer, even though we're going to be there in person. If you would like to be a part of the recording that we'll host on our YouTube channel and also have a snippet of yours for yourself, you can sign up for that on the Sign Up Genius. So I've done that work and I just need to get it out to you in a mailing. But there's been so many mailings lately. I'm trying to at least put a day between all of them. So watch your inbox. I feel like I'm spamming y'all, but it's not too soon to start thinking about Poetry Month. And maybe you want to write a poem for it. Anyway, so keep a watch out for that. We'll be talking more about it. Don't worry. Let me see.
There's also great water and a park down there while you're there. So
Yeah.
they'll want new poems, right? Yeah.
Right. We were talking about Field Elementary. June, do you want to give us kind of an update on where we are with Field Elementary?
Yes, we are now up to 10 submissions, with a few people having a second one if we need it. So we are getting there. I think actually 10 to 12 was our final amount that we can hang.
Right.
So we got some nice stuff.
Great. So for any new members or guests, this is an outreach that one of our members approached us about having a small little exhibition at Field Elementary with the theme of hope. And so the space isn't huge, and so we've been limited on the size of the artwork that we can submit. So for us, that's been a challenge. Some of our artists are big, or they think big, or they work big. So it's been a challenge to be small. So I'm really excited about this. Let me see. We have another big event coming up in April, and that's the drawing of our Eco Fund, or Eco Fund, depending on how you want to say it. But it's short for the Educational and Cultural Opportunity Grant, which is why we called the Eco fund. So we award every year 2 $1,000 grants, one to literary and one to visual. To qualify, you must be a member in good standing for 2 years, which means you've paid your dues for 2 years. You fill out a small form. You can get to it on our website. Just briefly describing how you would spend this money. And there have been all kinds of ways that our members have used this money. It could be to attend classes. It could be to take a trip, to photograph something, or take a class, someplace out of state. I think one person needed some special plumbing put into place for some artwork that she was doing. There's just all kinds of ways that you can spend this money. So don't think outside the box, okay? And what your wildest dreams of, like, I wish I had $1,000. If I did, I could do this.
I took a trip and bought a printer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought some equipment, took a class, and put a down payment on the studio. So yeah, there's all different kinds of ways that you can use this money. And so we will be sending out another mailing. There will be promoting you to sign up for this grant. Because you have to be a member in good standing for a couple of years and you can't have received it before, it's not a huge pool. So the odds are good that if you participate, that you could be a lucky winner. The one thing that you do have to do, though, is at the end of your year, you have to give a presentation on how you spent that money. And so in April, the recipients of last year's Eco Fund will be giving a presentation, and that's Marie Casamayor Harvey and Gretchen McDaniel. Gretchen is out of town right now, and Marie is going to be here a little late this evening. She's having to attend another meeting. So anyway, I encourage anyone that's eligible to take advantage of this opportunity. Let me see. Oh, we are having another one of our collaboration meet and matchups this, well, I guess it's not this coming weekend because I'm getting my weekend. It's March, Sunday the 6th. I think that's what the date is, March 6th. Whatever that Sunday is. So we're meeting at Gretchen and Marie's studio in Winter Street. There's going to be another mailing about it. And it's on our calendar as well, the WiVLA calendar. We had 2 matches last weekend. So just show up. Sometimes there's champagne or a little wine, there's water, coffee. You never know. Anything that makes it easy to chat with another artist or writer will be there. And so, yeah, I look forward to seeing y'all. It's a good opportunity to get some FaceTime with different members, especially since we haven't been able to meet in person. And let me see, Margot, do you want to talk about maybe our upcoming workshop?
Sure. It will be February the 26th, and it should be fantastic. Our presenter is Dr. Catherine Peterson. She's known as Dr. Cat. So I'm thinking it will be meowvelous. Sorry, don't mute me. But she's going to tell us how to write different types of bios for different kinds of environments. So there's one for, social, for your website, for social media. She'll talk about headshots. It sounds like it'd be very interesting. And she seems like a really fun person. So we'll write, she'll present from 10 to 12. And then we will eat our lunches that we brought from home from 12 to 1. It will be a working lunch. And then from 1 to 3, she will give us feedback on our bios. So it's a great opportunity. It's $10. I think we have maybe 5 or 6 places left, and you can register on you can find it on our calendar.
Right. And for those of you that have already registered, there's been a location change. Menden,
right.
yeah, Mendenhall is going through some renovation, I guess, and they've kicked everybody out for a couple of months. So it's at the Weekly Community Center in Cypress. The address is also on the calendar. So if you've registered, go back over to the calendar. We will be sending out more email, not to worry. If you've registered, you will be getting email the night before, reminding you about lunch, not to bring any red or purple drinks, and that there's been a location change.
Right. It's a beautiful building. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's a lovely drive. On a Saturday morning, it would be fantastic. And the building is nice. And so I think it'll be a good day. You will not want to miss it.
I think it's an opportunity worth taking. You know, $10 is not very much. And a good bio really elevates what people view you as, from an amateur to a professional. So I highly encourage anyone to take this, everyone can take this workshop. I don't think I have any. Oh, just one more thing. Smithers Park, the wall.
Who likes to smash things? We need people to smash stuff. We have a.
I think it might be more than chipping away at the moment with chisel and hammer, but but you can smash if you like.
Yes, yeah. And one question that Melody and I just realized is we need to know how far down we need to take it. So do we need to take it down to the wall next to us that's completely untouched, or can we go part way?
There is a border that we have to keep intact.
No, that's fine. I'm talking about the actual surface. Do we have to go down 3 inches, 4 inches?
Well, you go down to the actual breeze blocks, I think, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you take your class, you can check on that.
Yeah, yeah. I think you can see from the photo that I sent people, the one next door, you know, the flat surface, that hasn't been touched at all. As I said, I went Saturday, and Ashley, the person in charge from the Orange Show, had told me that we could hook up extension cords from the facility building. Well, it's a hell of a long way away. It's going to need, you know, about 10 cords, and by the time it gets to us, the wattage or the ampage will be pretty low. So I'm trying to find out when I go on Saturday for the mosaic workshop, if there's you know, a PowerPoint closer. She did.
Don't they have battery operated? What is it that you need? Don't they have battery operated some of this stuff?
Yeah, you can use your what do they call it? You know, cordless stuff, but they're really not very powerful. I mean, an angle grinder would be good or something, but you know, we'll try that. But let me find out this Saturday about.
I haven't seen an electronic hammer yet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Battery powered.
So just for some context here, there's a wall at Smither Park, and it is full of mosaic, and we are getting a piece of the wall. Unfortunately, somebody had already started on that piece of the wall, so we have to deconstruct before we can construct. So there will be a prospectus coming out, and we are welcoming designs from y'all, but we have to make our own clean slate. So that's where the deconstruction.
Where is this?
We did put out a call for designs. I'm hoping people are working on them. They, you know, we sent out the dimensions, right? So
It's in the newsletter.
yeah, and also they request no wording. I guess they don't want any messaging up there, you know? But we can sneak in logos and, you know, or something.
This is a creative group. I have no doubt.
Yeah, and Karen Farrell, I don't know if she's on Zoom tonight, but she's a stained glass artist in our group, right? And she's donating glass which will be wonderful.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And as I said, you know, the Orange Show does provide tile and glass and grouting as well.
Hmm.
So
I'm getting excited. I'm ready
yeah,
to-
once the design is set.
Yeah, I'm ready to bruise a thumb and get out there.
And where is this? Is this at the Orange Show?
Yes.
Yeah, right next door. To,
Okay.
Yeah, to the Orange Show. Yeah. So but please let me know, and we'll, you know, organize an outing out there. I know Melanie, you can't make Saturdays, but I think for others it might be, convenient to go on a Saturday.
It's like-
Oh, there's a message from Corey, a portable generator. Wow.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Thanks, Corey.
Okay, well, there will be more news about Smither Park. I think what we're going to do immediately is to maybe start publicizing it in our Facebook group.
Oh, yeah.
Just because we have so many emails going out. So we'll start putting more information there, links to the calendar and so forth,
Mhm,
for at least for the deconstruction outings.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was suggesting to Melody that this would be a good thing to include partners, especially those who have tools and art.
Drawn.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Whoever's buff.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get on with our meeting presenters. Margot, I am going to turn the meeting over to you.
Okay, well, Melody wanted me to give you a teaser for next month, so
Yes.
here you go. Just a little something to make sure you're watching. Okay, just to let you know, next month, our topic is visual art meets literary art. And Mary Wemple is our speaker. She is an award-winning poet and visual artist, and she hosts the Words and Art workshops and readings. And it's fascinating. She has gone to the Menil. Currently, she's using the Contemporary Arts Museum as her venues, and it'll be a fabulous program. But now tonight, our topic is Art for All Homes. Our speakers are first, Lisa Scheinbaum, and she has been an active member of both the arts and nonprofit communities for many years. In 2017, she had a one-woman show, I think it's called Deucer Gallery in Houston. She enjoys working with watercolor pencil and acrylic paints. Lisa illustrated the children's book, Purple Song, which was published in conjunction with the Purple Songs Can Fly Foundation at Texas Children's Hospital. She is the founder of Art for All, where she leads art classes for seniors with dementia and Alzheimer's. And we also have Catherine Wild. She is a retired real estate attorney. She is chairperson of the Planning and Zoning Commission for the city of Bunker Hill Village, Texas. She also serves on the board of directors of the Healthcare and Nursing Education Foundation, an organization that provides scholarships to nursing students and grants to healthcare nonprofits. Okay, thank you for joining us, and take it away.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. As you know, we heard, I'm Lisa Scheinbaum.
And I'm Catherine Weil.
And as you all know, we are founders of Art for All Homes, and we want to thank you so much for inviting us to speak with you tonight. And I have to say, all of that programming that I was hearing is very exciting. And I think that I definitely want to jump in at some point. Our mission is to bring the beauty of art to everyone, regardless of resources. And the way that we do this is by accepting donations of art and distributing them to clients through our partner organizations. And this allows people to receive a beautiful piece of art at no cost. I use a brand of paint, Liquitex, and I found this quote from them that sums up how I feel about what art means to people. And as artists, I know that you will understand. The quote is, "Art brings us much needed moments of focus and quiet mindfulness It helps us observe the world in a different way and introduces us to different ways of thinking. Keeping that quote in mind when we pass along our donated art, it's so important to us that people choose their own art according to their own taste, because there is so much dignity in that. Well, this is a picture of me a long, long time ago. And as you can see here, I grew up in a home filled with art. It was literally from floor to ceiling. Both of my parents were artists, and it was part of my life to see beauty all around me. Georgia O'Keeffe said it perfectly. Filling a space in a beautiful way, that is what art means to me. And that is our goal at Art for All Homes, filling people's space in a beautiful way.
And I've always loved studying art. And I was so touched when you talked about doing an exhibition at Field Elementary School, because when I was in elementary school, that's when my love of art first grew and flourished. Every 6 weeks, a room mother would come into our classroom and present a famous work of art to all of the students, and we get a little postcard with the art, and they would have us try painting in the style of the artist, and I loved that. And I have no artistic abilities myself, but I have always loved studying about artists and different art techniques. So I've been very fortunate in that I've been able to travel all over the world and visit some of the world's greatest museums. And as an adult, I've studied art both in art history, both in college and just continuing education programs.
So around 7 years ago, I started a business of art programming, as you heard, for seniors, specializing in people with Alzheimer's and dementia. And here's just a tiny sample of a project that we did one day. I saw that so much of the art was really lovely and really charming, and sadly, it was just left behind on the tables or thrown in the garbage. I knew that it would look really wonderful hanging in someone's home, but who would want it? Then it occurred to me, who has empty houses? Well, Habitat for Humanity has empty houses. So I got up my nerve and I contacted them, and surprisingly, they actually happily agreed to partner with me and accept art to offer to their new homeowners. I then realized that this project had a much bigger potential to make a difference, more than I could do just as one woman doing a good deed. I needed to form a nonprofit organization. So I analyzed my strengths and weaknesses, and I realized I needed a partner who could balance my creative energy with steadiness and legal expertise, and then she could do the things that I could not. So immediately, I thought of my dear friend, Catherine Weil, and she said yes.
And our partnership was formed. And we really quickly came up with the name Art for All Homes, because the name really just says it all. To us, it embraces our mission of bringing the beauty of art to everyone, regardless of resources. So this was just 2 years ago that we started this. So I figured out how to file our paperwork to make us an official nonprofit. And we began spreading the word to our friends, family, friends of friends that we were accepting donations of art. And we've just sort of been feeling our way through this and growing as we've gone along. And people were really excited to donate to us. And then we got in touch with a temporarily out of work opera singer. Because of COVID, she was out of work, and she was our website designer, and we had a logo designer, and we also hired a high school intern, and we got busy posting about what we're doing on Facebook and on Instagram. And the art just started rolling in. So here are some examples of some of the first pieces we received. And then we picked these pieces in particular to show you kind of the variety of art that we get and the sources that we get them from. So the one on the left is from a local artist who you guys may know. Her name is Eleanor McCarthy, and she works out of Sabine's studio. And she recently changed her painting style and had some paintings in her older style that she hadn't sold and donated them to us. And as you can see, her work is absolutely beautiful. And then in the middle, this piece is from an art dealer who grew up in Houston, who now lives in New York City. And he heard us about us in social media, and he was clearing out his storage unit and gave us a bunch of art. And that's one of the pieces he gave us in the center. And then on the right, this was a photograph from a photographer in Germany who also saw us on social media, asked us to pick out any photograph we wanted. And this beautiful photograph is what we selected from him.
So this slide here, again, shows all the different ways that we do receive our art. The one on the lower left is 3 local artists. We have Barbara Hall, Ellen Orsick, and Laura Tilley, and they are all in the studio at Winter Street and holding a sample of the art that they gave us. So we get art from local artists, and actually I think Rona Lesser is here, and she just recently donated to us. So hi, Rona. The picture in the top middle shows us at the Gliselle art sale, where we acquired pieces that weren't picked up by the artists. And we've actually received art from the Gliselle School several times. And each time we receive about 30 pieces. The picture at the bottom right shows something that we're quite proud of as well, is our progression to pickups. At first, we were just receiving donations from our friends, which was fine because they were mostly in our area and we knew them and we were comfortable, going to their homes and picking up the art. But soon we began receiving emails from people that we didn't know. We realized that this was not sustainable and we needed another way to receive the art. It had to be in a public space and it had to be easy for the donor and as well easy for us. So we developed a drop-off system. And now each month we go to a public library, alternating between Bel Air and a library and memorial, and get art that way as a kind of a drive-by. And this was kind of an exciting event. Just this past February 5th, we received 90 pieces in 1 hour. And then just in the top right is just someone who, just a donor who was doing a drive-by. And as a little interesting little anecdote, a woman a few weeks ago at the memorial location, she drove up and actually she contacted Catherine and then drove up and gave us, in memory of her artist mother and grandmother, she dropped off to us 96 pieces. So we were thrilled and loaded them in our cars and came home and cataloged them all. And we asked her how she found out about us, and she said she Googled what to do with extra art. So that was kind of interesting that someone could Google us.
And we knew that the recipients of the art were happy, but it took us a while to really realize how thrilled the donors were as well. And we think it's because art is so personal, whether it's something you created yourself or whether someone, a friend or a loved one bought something for you, or whether it was handed down. Art is very personal and has special meaning for people. And so people don't really throw art away. And so our donors are really touched to know that something that they've given to us will then give so much pleasure to someone else in the community.
And this was really exciting for us. We were so fortunate to be nominated and then profiled in the Houston Chronicle for their annual Houston Heroes section on September 27th of 2021. The publicity from that was so outstanding And it brought us so many new partnerships, a few of which we'll talk about soon. Our growth from that really exploded because of that article, and we immediately had more art coming in and more organizations accepting art donations. Now here's a list of our partner organizations, and this list is growing all the time. And I'm not going to read them all out to you because you can see them yourself, but I'd like to highlight several of them because they show the spectrum of organizations, some of which receive art and some of which we donate art to. The first one, Bluebird Circle, saw the Chronicle article, and they contacted us, and now every few months we collect all of their unsold art. And just last week, I picked up 40 pieces from them. Jewish Family Service and Celebration Company. They have a program for mentally and physically challenged adults where they create really beautiful art. We received 40 pieces from them last year. And actually, in the picture here is Gabby. She donated her photograph that she's holding, and she's from Celebration Company. Interfaith Ministries, The Beacon, and Noah's House, they all receive art from Art for All Homes. These are social service agencies that reach many different populations across Houston, including mental health and physical disabilities and incoming refugee populations. So we kind of cover the gamut. Dress for Success, we are planning a drive-by art pickup for their clients after they receive a suit. And Habitat for Humanity, which I mentioned before, but the very exciting thing about that is that they will begin building a new development with 4,500 homes, and we'll be passing art along to them. So that is a lot of art. But something that is really particularly exciting for us is to be able to partner with local artists. And what we're doing now is we've decided we wanted to work on a plan to promote all our local artist donors on our social media. So if you have any extra art that's ready to hang and in good shape, we will happily accept it. So here's a picture of just a few of the organizations that we partner with. The slide on the left is Houston Furniture Bank, and Houston Furniture Bank is now able to offer a piece of free art to all their clients who choose a piece of furniture. And at first we were driving to their storefront to drop off all the art, but now that we have so much inventory, they are more than happy to pick it up. And just as an example, last week from me, they picked up 60 pieces, and from Catherine, they picked up 110. The other recipient pictures are on the right, United Against Human Trafficking, and they took 40 pieces. And in the middle is kind of a cute story. That is Elizabeth Stein, and she is from Houston Professional Firefighters Charitable Foundation. She called just out of the blue and asked if we could donate a few pieces that she could give to their own firefighters whose homes were actually destroyed by fires. And so one of the pieces that I showed her for her to choose was this one here of a picture of Tabasco sauce. She was so excited about that because the nickname for the firefighters is Tabasco. So she jumped right on that one, and that went to a very worthy firefighter.
And we don't get the opportunity to meet a lot of the people who get our art since they get it through our partner organizations. We put a little tag on the back of each piece of art and ask people if they'll send us a picture of themselves with their piece, and we'll put it on social media. So we do get some pictures of people that way, and some of our partner organizations will also send us pictures of the recipients. One day we were at the Houston Furniture Bank, and we had the opportunity to talk directly to two of the recipients. One woman said that she never thought that she would own a piece of art that a real artist actually sat down and painted. She was just so thrilled by that. And another just really touching story, there was a woman, this is when we were still bringing the art in ourselves. she was watching us bring all this art in, and she just loved what she saw. And she shared with me that she suffers from depression, and that she was really excited to have a beautiful piece of art in her home because she felt like it would really lift her spirits. And we catalog each piece of art. And at this point, we have received and rehomed almost 1,000 pieces of art. So that's been a lot of growth over the last 2 years. And again, everyone receives the art at no charge. And because we are a 501c3, all of our donors get a tax deduction, a tax receipt, and a thank you.
So this is our mission statement: help bring the joy of art to our community and get involved with Art for All Homes. Leads me to tell you about our lofty goals that are coming up. The first one that we are hoping for is to have more art coming in. And we always say yes to any ready to hang art that's in good shape, except nudes. We don't take nudes. Our second goal is we would love to partner with more organizations. So if anyone knows of any nonprofits that would benefit from receiving some art, we're always ready to partner with more. We'd love to get more art going out to make more homes happy and beautiful. Program, we will be partnering and planning family art programs with Lawndale and the Museum of Fine Arts. And our plan is to have them pass along the art that they create to Art for All Homes. Our fourth goal is that, if you recall, we had a picture in there about how our art is piling up in our homes. I don't know if you had a chance to glance at that, but we are really quickly outgrowing our closet space. And one of our goals is to find donated storage space, either a storage unit, a ground floor office space, or the best would be, if it comes up, a space at Winter Street Studios or any studio in that area. We definitely will not say no to that. And now that we've completed 2 years of running a nonprofit organization, we realize that there are certain costs involved, of course. So our fifth goal is to raise money. And of course, since it's a nonprofit, all donations are tax deductible. Our seventh and final goal, last but not least, is to ask all of you to be our ambassadors and help spread the word. Because as you know, the word of mouth is the best advertising. And you know, that's really why we created Art for All Homes, to spread the joy of art to everyone. And we would love to have you get in touch with us. So feel free to reach out, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Feel free to repost anything that you see there and just talk about it to everybody you know, because, you know, as we say, can't beat word of mouth.
Thank you so much. We're so thrilled to talk to you tonight.
Well, thank you for spending some time with us this evening. I just have so many questions. So, I'm curious, with Habitat for Humanity, you said you don't always get to see the people who pick up the art. Do they take a selection of art and then let the new homeowners select, or is there a place where they can go and select it themselves?
Yeah, what we do for all of the organizations is if they don't pick it up from us, we drop off a selection to them, and then their clients choose whichever piece of art appeals to them. You know, it's very important to us that everybody is able to choose their own piece of art according to their own taste.
So for example, at the Houston Furniture Bank, they actually have an area that's called the art gallery. So the art that we donate to them is hung up in the gallery, and the clients that they see that get art for free can go into the gallery and select their own piece. And for Habitat for Humanity, we're still talking about different ways to get art. They're contemplating doing an art van, which would be very exciting. to bring out into the community where they've built homes. And like Lisa said, for some of the nonprofits, we do drop off the art, but with the understanding that the clients pick their own art. And actually, just today, we got pictures from the Beacon, Bridget's Hope. We just dropped off about 40 pieces to them, and they sent us pictures of their clients and the different pieces that they picked. So it was very exciting to see that.
So do you just take 2D work? I thought I saw some pieces that looked like they were 3D pieces.
So most of what we take is something that you can hang on the wall.
Okay.
It's just easier for us to transport. We don't have to worry about things breaking. We have taken some sculpture. We've taken some art glass. So we will take other things as long as they're easy to transport. We don't want to break anyone's work of art.
No, that wouldn't be good. So when you have these pickups, like for example, I know about the one that's the 5th, right? So how long are you at those sites until your SUVs fill up, or?
We're usually out there for an hour.
An hour, okay. So and where you want to share with everyone where you'll be on the 5th?
Yeah, so on March 5th, we'll be at the Harris County Public Library Spring Branch, which is at 930 Corbindale. It's in the Memorial area, and we're in the parking lot. Some people get confused and go into the library. We've missed a couple of donations because we didn't see people going into the library. We're in the parking lot at the library. And so then we alternate between that library and the Bel Air Library on Jessamine.
And we're very easy to find at the Bel Air Library there. The backs of the vans were open, you had pulled up, and there they were. So
yeah. Have any of the artists that have contributed works had any notes on the back of them, for example, on the, for lack of a better word, the provenance of it, like this, my mother did this and it was inspired by this, or so forth?
Well, we have a few of the artists, including Rona. She's put her cards on the back of the canvases. A few of the artists have given us bios, which we include with the piece of art on the back. So we'll try to pass along as much information as possible to advertise the artists as well. It's, everybody benefits.
I gave you some bios too printed out.
Yeah.
So with so it's really nice. I have that storage behind me is all paintings, and I don't want to leave that for my family eventually. So there are very nice pieces that maybe I'm ready to pass on, and I'm just going to slowly do that.
Okay, we'll take them all.
Well, that would be the eventual, hopefully for not a few more years, but yeah.
Do you have vehicles that are dedicated to transporting the art?
Now, we each drive an SUV, and that's, Lisa's car's her daily driving car. I had an old car that my kids used to drive in high school that we kept. I call it my hauling vehicle. So yeah, we drive our own vehicles. So anything that's donated to us, needs to fit into a standard size SUV.
Do y'all have those big magnetic signs that you put on your vans?
No.
With your logo and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It just seems like driving around, that would be great advertising.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
All right. And then another question, and that is, do you ever have sort of a daisy chain kind of way of distributing? Like, do you ever have people who meet halfway? So somebody's got art, they live way out on the west side of town, say, and they meet someone at a certain location, and then they bring it to you, or would that be too complicated?
I think for now it would probably be too complicated. we have a program that we've started where we call it our ambassador program, where we have volunteers who help us do different things because we've grown so fast. It's really a lot to do. And so one thing that we're thinking about having our ambassadors do is help us with some of these drop-offs. The only time, like we said at first, we were driving to individuals' homes and it just became, we just couldn't do it anymore. We were getting way too many calls. On a rare occasion, we will go to someone to pick up. For example, we were just contacted by a woman who is a very serious art collector. She's had art, her family art has been at the Museum of Fine Arts and in museums all over the country. So of course she contacts me, I'm going to her house. But for 99.9% of the people, at least for now, we're going to do our monthly drop-offs.
Okay, and what time is it on the 5th?
At 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, okay.
Yeah, so we usually have a pretty good idea of how many people are coming. People will contact us, either email or text, and I keep a list of everyone who's contacted us about a specific drop-off, and then I'll send reminders out to people. And usually not everybody comes who's contacted us. And then we always have some surprise people come. So we usually have a pretty good idea how many people are coming. So for example, our last monthly drop-off, I knew that we were going to have probably 10 people. So instead of just Lisa and I going, I got my husband to help out because our ambassador was out of town. So, we got 3 full cars of art because I knew 10 people were coming. We were probably going to get a lot of art. And other times it's just the 2 of us.
So for now, you're storing everything in your homes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and are you prepared for the hundreds of pieces of art you're going to receive from WiVLA people?
You know what? We will make it work. Don't worry.
Already
You know,
sent
I-
my
yeah,
email.
I
I've
literally-
already sent my email. I got my place in line.
Yeah, it's literally, literally all over the house. And my husband just kind of raises his eyebrow, and as long as he can make it through to the kitchen, he's okay.
Have you thought of doing a contact sheet of the artwork that you do? So that you would have photographs of all your artwork, and then you can print them onto one sheet so that you can actually hand it to the director of whomever, even mail it, so they know what art is available.
Like
Well,
Habitat.
right. Well, what we do is we start by cataloging each piece. And so we have record of each piece that comes in. And to pass along art to our partner organizations, what often happens is that the organizations will let us know what kind of things they're looking for. And we will sort through what we have and then bring that to them and drop it off. We just as an example for United Against Human Trafficking, we wanted to give them flowers and happy colors, things like that. So we tend not to give them the option from what our house would be. We will bring the art to them. And then we have never had, very rarely have we had occasions for them to say, no, we don't want, right?
Yeah, no, I wasn't suggesting that.
Yeah.
Well, and that is the reason actually that we don't accept nudity, is we've got some of the places where we bring art for religious or other reasons, their clients would be uncomfortable seeing that. So we decided it was just easier, not to do that.
But we do catalog everything and keep track of every single piece that comes our way.
And that might also be triggering for people that have experienced trafficking. So
right.
As well as other art might be, but then that could be their preference to pick something else.
And for sure, and that came up with the Afghan refugees. That was not appropriate. So we we learned from that, and right across the board, we said, okay, well, no nudes. Let's just make it easy. Let's just not take them at all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, I think you may have tapped into some enthusiastic contributors here.
We hope so.
Yeah, like I said, I sent you an email a couple days, and I don't remember which one of you responded, but I'm all set for the 5th. Matter of fact, I may even show up a week early. I'm calendar challenged right now, so who knows when I'll be there.
Question. And also the nice thing to know is that every single piece will be so appreciated by the recipient. They just, it's often people who just have nothing on their walls, and just you all know the pleasure that some art will bring.
Well, and it's so nice to know, what to do. You don't want to, like you said, you don't throw away art. And when you've inherited art, especially, it's like you don't want to throw that away, because usually the artist. So it's a comfort for us to have it go to a place where it's going to be appreciated. And so I just love what y'all are doing.
Do you ever take
Looks like there's some
art
hands.
for children's rooms or teenagers' rooms?
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah. We've taken in a lot of children's art.
Okay.
I think someone's asking a question, but you're muted.
Yeah, you're both muted, Kay and Gail.
Well, I was pointing to Gail. There she is.
So is it me?
Yeah, go ahead, Gail.
Okay, thank you. What Lisa was saying reminded me of an experience I had many years ago. I was young. I owned almost nothing. I lived in one of those, I was in Chicago and lived in one of those apartments where half was underground, and at the ground level was the windows. I think they call them garden apartments. I had pictures on my wall that were taken from magazines and calendars and glued to colored paper and then taped to the wall. And I had a woman visit me who was just from a whole culture of poverty. And she was bowled over by my beautiful artwork. And so, yes, people really do appreciate this stuff. And I can imagine some of those pictures that I saw, they were way better than my pictures from the magazines.
It's a beautiful story.
So if we want to bring art to one of the libraries, do we contact you in advance to sort of forewarn you that we're bringing stuff and how many pieces, or how would you like to do that?
Yeah, that's actually helpful. You don't have to, but it does help us plan so we can make sure that we have enough vehicles there to get everything.
And do we do that through your website or direct email?
Either way, I mean, through our website, it goes to our email. So our email is artforallhomes@gmail.com.
Should we put that in the chat? I don't know if you want to do that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and it was also
artforallhomes@gmail.com.
I'll do that right.
That way, we'll know to expect you, and so we can plan.
Yeah, and I've also used like material to go buy like a pattern out of material or like a yard or something and hang that on the wall, like a material that has waterfall or something in it. And put it up on the wall. So that might be another resource of material that has patterns that somebody might enjoy. I don't know.
So I went to your website and there was a contact us link.
Yes.
Which made it just super easy to get in touch with them about.
Oh, good. I thought you were going to say that it didn't work. And I was like,
no, it was great. No.
Okay.
You always replied back real fast. So it works.
Good.
Any other questions, comments?
Can you tell again the name of the church where you're going to be?
Library.
Yeah.
So,
library.
On Saturday, March the 5th at 10 o'clock. Well, it's called the Harris County Public Library Spring Branch.
I'm writing that in there.
Okay, and the address is 930 Corbindale. It's Corbindale. It's just a tiny little neighborhood library, and we'll be
Sorry,
in the
Catherine,
parking lot.
Catherine, what was the address again?
930 Corbindale. So we really ask people to be there at 10. You know, we'll know, let's say, for example, we're expecting 5 people. And, you know, once the 5 people on the list are there, when, you know, we may wait a couple more minutes. But since we've had no shows at every single event, we don't really hang around for a long time, you know, after we've gotten things from people we're you know, expecting. Because we always have some no-shows every time. Even people that have emailed us within 5 minutes of the event starting. Kind of surprising. I haven't figured that out yet.
Stuff happens, and traffic happens, accidents happen, you know, just
right.
Yeah, and that was my concern. It's like, okay, if I run into something on the Katy Freeway, which I know never happens, you know, how long are you gonna, you know, potentially hang around? So.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've had people say, I'm on my way, I hit traffic, and we wait. Yeah.
Okay.
And I do, when I email people, I've got my cell phone number on there. So if people need to reach me at the last minute, that's easy.
And do you have the dates listed on your website that you'll be at these libraries?
No, we post them on social media, usually on Instagram, sometimes on Facebook. We've been very active on Instagram, not as active on Facebook. I think, Lisa, do you post on both every month?
I post on my own personal.
Okay.
Constantly on Facebook. Instagram, I post constantly on our Art for All Homes Instagram page. It does not go to the Facebook. So our intern occasionally posts on Facebook.
Yeah, and it's generally the first Saturday of the month, but we didn't really want to publish a schedule too far out. Because every once in a while, one of us ends up, or both of us ends up having the conflict, and every once in a while, we've done it on the second Saturday.
So if someone uses your contact me from your website and tells you I have some art, you'll tell them then when the next date is.
Yes, exactly.
Date and location.
Right, right. And we tell them what kind of art we accept, and you know that it needs to fit into a small SUV. Every once in a while, someone will come maybe in a pickup truck or a really, really large vehicle, and they may have a piece that we can't take.
I imagine you've seen a few pieces at Glassell that wouldn't fit into your SUV.
Yeah, unfortunately, they just contacted us, and they had a piece they wanted to give us, but it was really big and we couldn't accept it. It's really heartbreaking to not be able to accept something.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of large art at that student sale.
Yeah, right.
Okay, ladies, any other comments before I bring this wonderful evening to a close? Okay, well, I have enjoyed this immensely. I'm so glad that the two of you were able to come and spend some time with us this evening.
Thank you so much.
Really
enjoyed meeting all of you.
Lovely
and
to
we
be part of
look
your
forward to you being honorary members of WiVLA for this next year.
We're excited. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Okay, at this time, I'll do y'all a favor and remove the spotlights from you so you can kind of blend into the crowd here. Let's see. There you go. So at this time, does anybody have any announcements of things that are going on, events, shows, readings? New puppies. Okay, Margot, that would be new cats.
Yes, I have 2 video poems in the Real Poetry Film Festival, and it will be the 25th through the 27th. And I'll put that link in the chat.
Good
for you.
Okay, great. You've been posting a lot on our Facebook pages. You got that there? Have you posted that also?
I think so, but I just recently got the schedule and mine are going to screen. So
Cool, great.
I'll do that soon.
Okay. Anyone else?
I just
Carol.
wanted, yeah, hi, Carol Watson. I just wanted to give a shout out to the Bunker Hill City Hall. I had a solo exhibition there, and in one night, I sold 50 paintings.
Holy moly.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Okay, we'll be calling you, Carol. We want to know more about this.
It was a great show. Great paintings.
Whoa.
Oh, great.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yes.
It's probably not just a shout out to them, it's kind of a shout out to you. It's fabulous.
Well, just to add one more thing to it, it was the last time my husband spent time with me before he passed away the next month.
Oh, God.
Wow.
So it was like an incredible homage to him and the process and being in our own neighborhood and the open heart of the Bunker Hill City people. And everybody helped. I mean, it was like amazing to be in the courthouse and to have food and stuff. And it was like a live exhibition and so many people came. It was so many people that they actually had to turn people away because there was no place to park.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Wow, good.
It sounds like it. Oh, thank you for sharing. Anyone else? It's kind of hard to top that. Okay. Well, ladies, thank you very much, everyone, for attending this evening. It was a wonderful program. Keep your eyes peeled for more email coming from WiVLA about opportunities for workshops and wall demolition and
partnering.
Yeah, partnering. I mean, it's just, yeah, I feel like a spammer here, but we just got so much going on, and we're trying to get as many opportunities for us to get together outside of our meeting time. So with that, I will call this meeting to a close. Y'all have a great month, and I hope to see you maybe at the Winter Street Studios for the meet and matchup. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you, Catherine and
Good
Lisa.
night.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Bye.
Thanks.